Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to June 7th. Welcome to June. Hey, everybody. Let the work week begin. AJ21K in the house right now. I just want to tell you, everybody, after having 3 bad weeks in a row, last week was worth it all the way. I cannot say anything bad about this. I only had one major bad thing, but everything else was so positive. I cannot believe how awesome I was last week, and I can name so many things I can name on this list. But that's not the reason why I'm making this video. The reason why I'm making this video is because I want to tell you this. I have decided to make this video. I wanted to do this a long time, but I decided, you know what? Why not do it now? I turned 33 years old a month ago. As of weeks, of course. I'm 33 now, double three. I'm lucky to make it this far. God forbid if I was to ever get crucified. Anybody who doesn't know about 33 or religion should understand that Jesus was crucified at the age of 33. God forbid. Anyway, here is the reason why I'm making this video, and this is the subject of the matter. The list of these top 10 people on this list have touched my heart any and all ways, no matter what way they did it, no matter how they did it, no matter what they did. The top 10 people who have touched my heart and made me the man I am today. Also known as the top 10 people who gave me inspiration, positivity, faith, friendship, determination, hope, happiness, and whatever else, regardless of what it was, to be the wonderful Alex AJ21K Diaz, myself. Before I get to the list, here are the rules of this list. There are no family members on this list. The reason why I want to be non-biased on this sorry. The reason why I want to be non-biased on this is because I do not want to put family so that they can say everybody, oh, special treatment, favoritism, whatever. And I do not support that either, and I agree with those people as well. There are no celebrities on this list, no matter if they're actors, sports athletes, journalists, as far as celebrity journalists, politicians, musicians, whatever. None of those are on those either. Nationwide, of course. There are no fictional characters on this list. You gotta be a real person, whether you were dead or alive. The people that are on this list that are allowed, are former friends, former coworkers, acquaintances, and even enemies can be on this list too. Whether before enemies become friends, friends before become enemies, enemies still enemies, and friends that are still friends. Hello. Moving on. Just because I don't talk to them doesn't mean they did not inspire me, advise me in a positive way, or help me out in any way, shape, or form. So now we come to the list. Here are the top 10 people who gave me inspiration, positivity, faith, determination, hope, happiness, and or whatever else they did to be me in the 33 years of my life. Number 10, Garland Bennett. Out of everything Garland I done for and he has done for me, I still thank him today. He's no longer my friend though, but I still do remember things, a lot of things Garland and I did. There were many things he educated me on, and I was happy that he did. He was the guy that got me back into running. After a 5-year hiatus from 2006 when I left high school to graduate all the way to 2011. 2011 was my first season as an adult, and I came back to running as an adult of what I do today. I cannot believe it's been 10 years since I did that. I still thank Garland today, even though he's no longer my friend. Garland, if you're seeing this, thanks. Number 9, Wendy Enriquez. Where do I start with this wonderful woman? I met her at DJ's Dugout when I was watching a game with a friend of mine, who also is no longer my friend as well. Wendy, though, is a really good person. She is a wonderful friend of mine. Thank God. I love her still today. I've only known her for a year, She has helped me out a lot. She is still my friend. I did go out with her about a couple of weeks ago for my birthday week, of course, the week before my birthday. And I really had a wonderful moment with this wonderful woman. I cannot say any more than her doing everything she can for me to have a week after having 3 bad weeks in a row. Wendy, I owe you big time, and I thank you so much for what you've done for me. I wish there was more you could do. She is a workaholic, don't get me wrong, she doesn't want to be. Unfortunately, she has to be for her job. But either way, though, Wendy, I thank you so much. Number 8, Sean Kane. Oh, yes. The guy I went to high school with, even though I never hung out with him outside of high school, we talked a lot. I give him credit for having the best teacher ever that we both had, and we sat next to each other, which was not planned. Carrie Weidel-Scribner. Yes, the Pythagorean theorem teacher that put the Pythagorean theorem on our faces so much. Thanks, Carrie. I love you. As for Sean Kane, oh God, where do I start with this trolling ass motherfucker? Wow. I could say so much more. Sean, from high school to college to trolling each other's teams in the NFL, MLB, whatever, to being a true friend of mine, to being one of my top 5 best friends, and let alone trolling the Patriots every time when the Broncos face you guys, and yet now you suck again. All 31 teams are laughing. I can name so much more that we all did. I love you when you lose. Thanks, Sean. This butt's definitely for you. All right. Number 7. Casey Lichtig. Wow. Probably the most inspirational runner I have ever met in my lifetime. I have met Casey quite a few times in races, but I have yet to see her for 3 years. But she is still one of the best, probably the best runner and the most inspirational runner I've ever met in my life. She is an ultramarathon runner. She has before was ultramarathoner of the year a few years back. Casey Lichtig has done so many things I never thought I'd ever see any friend of mine do in my lifetime. One time when I was at Lake Rearspan, a race in Omaha, further west of me, she gave her trophy, her winning trophy, her championship trophy, to a little girl who is a huge fan of hers. For me, I personally would not do this because almost every trophy is my winnings, but I give Casey credit to that. I did not expect her to, or expect any athlete to do that, whether local or whatever, or big or whatever. But I'm proud of you, Casey. I did not expect that, but actually that's something I thought that really touched my heart. And who knows if that girl becomes you too. Casey Lichtig, you're an example to running. You're not a number to running. You're not a fake person to running. You're not someone that will let me down. And even a person my age, I like you too. Number 6, Peter Falcon. Like Garland, both of these people, both Peter and Garland know each other. They have known each other for a long time. But with Garland, even though he's no longer my friend anymore, Peter is. I'll say this real quick as far as I can say. Garland became Peter, Peter became Garland. Remember this real carefully. Garland was a really close friend of mine. Peter hated my guts initially when he first met me. Then something happened to Peter, and then Peter got to know me a little bit better. Long story short, I became friends with Peter. Thank you, Peter Falcon, and congrats on your silver medalist finish in the Lincoln Marathon. Proud of you, man. For Garland, though, he now hates my guts, and Peter really has a huge inspiration for me, and we are friends, even though we don't talk very much. We are friends, of course. Pretty much, Garland's no longer my friend, and he was really a good one. Now Peter hated me back then, and he's now my friend. pretty much Garland became Peter, Peter became Garland, and they both know each other. No further details on that. Thank you, Peter. Congratulations on your wonderful, glorious second place finish. Number 5, middle of the pack, Andrew Masters. I can name so many things I can say about this guy, but I'll be as quick as I can on this guy. How I got to know him. He used to date the same woman I dated as well. Of course, not at the same time. Andrew dated a girl that I dated a little bit later. At first, I thought he was trying to threaten my life, but I realized it wasn't that. He was trying to forewarn me about a girl named Bridget. Andrew, I don't have to say anymore. You already know the story. Thank you once again now, 10 years later, unfortunately. For this guy, it wasn't just that I got to know him. It wasn't just poker temporarily that I got to know him either. There were many things how I got to know this guy. Damn it. Anyway, so here's the thing. I always tell this to everyone. Andrew has done a lot for me, especially last year. We went on 2 vacations in Missouri, one to Branson, the other to Kansas City. Andrew would be higher up on this, but since I only hung out with him for only 3 years, max, he'd known him for 10, he's on number 5. Andrew, out of everything you've done last year after the crap I went through, I want to say the best thanks to you the most, out of any friend who gave me a vacation, or 2 to remember. Love you, bro. Cubs still suck. Anyway. Number 4, Matt Murphy. Oh, God, how can I ever remember this sorry-ass Queef fan? Love you, Matt. Damn it. Matt Murphy. I know him for 3 different reasons. Running, poker, and smack talk. And, of course, hanging out with him wherever the hell we hung out with. Matt Murphy is one of the top 5 friends I've ever met in my life. Matt Murphy's also Catholic and an Irish guy. Love him. The luck of the Irish. Lucky bastard. And yes, I troll his Chiefs every single time, and he's a wannabe or Fairweather Royals fan, only because if they're good. Sounds like a Husker fan. Just kidding, Matt. Anyway, Matt Murphy, originally from Iowa. I do like him that he hates the Huskers. Thank God, Matt. I love you on that. I'll give you credit on that. But one of my top 5 trolling friends I love to death as well. Thanks, Matt. Matt Murphy's helped me out on many things. We've had a few arguments too. I'll admit to that. But in the end, who says friends don't have arguments? Love you, Murphy. Number 3, LaRon Beasley. Wow. Where do I start with this wonderful, wonderful, glorious man? The only friend that is related to 4 different celebrities. One of them is a legendary person from Nebraska. He died recently. Rest in peace to that wonderful legend. And he was well known for the St. Louis Cardinals, Nebraska, and everywhere nationwide. Rest in peace, Bob Gibson. This is LaRon's uncle. LaRon is related to 3 other celebrities. All 3 are still alive. 2 of them are Beasleys. One of them is another Beasley that actually plays for one. There's 2 Beasleys. One of them's an actor. There's another actor, and there's another one that plays for the basketball and in the NBA. Well done to you, man. He's the only friend that I know that is related, that is very related to, that is related, no matter what, to a legendary person. Athlete, actor, or whatever. LaRon, cannot say how much more I can thank you because this month and the month before, and the month before that, you proved to me that you're a ride or die friend. And I'm a ride or die friend to you, right back to you. Thank you, LaRon. You're the best friend I've had in a long time. Did not even think I would ever have this ever in my life. LaRon, I agree. Fuck LeBron James. Alright, moving on to number 2. The most beautiful person I have seen in my lifetime, inside and out. Anastasia Champ. Anastasia Champ, oh gosh. Where do I start with this wonderful woman? Anastasia has helped me out many different ways. Even the time when I first met her, the time when I first known her. But her biggest thing was this. I told Anastasia this when I added her on Facebook, yada 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 yada. I did not know who she was originally until I got to see WWT6 News more often when I got in my house more often. Anastasia Champ is one of the best journalists, probably the best journalist in the local Omaha area. She no longer works for WWT or any local news station in this area, but out of anything that any person has done, man or woman, she gave me the news story that a lot of people couldn't do. Everyone knows those stories if they really get to know me. I'm not going to somehow express that whole thing. I've been declined by KMTV or 3 News Now or whatever the heck it is at the time, Action 3 News, whatever. I've been declined by Fox 42. I've been declined numerous times by KATV. I'm not going to get to that story. I'll talk about that some other time. I've been WWT. There were 2 times, make that 3 times. I had to somehow apply for this. The first time, they were not interested. Oh well. Second time, I decided to talk to Erin Murray. Erin Murray's no longer of WWT either. She's now in the West Coast or somewhere in Florida, whatever. But I did tell her, I did talk to Erin about several months ago, and I told her I got the news story. I still thank you regardless, since it wasn't declined. But the reason why I was declined because it wasn't in season. So then comes a few months later, Anastasia Champ. I say about 2 years later. Anastasia Champ, out of any woman in my life, has gave me the news story I've been trying to have for a long time. Anastasia Champ gave me that news story. It is on the local news. It was on WWT on March 1st, 2018. The day when somehow I literally became a really great role model. Hope to God for everyone younger than me and older than me. Anastasia Champ, out of any one of these people, I sincerely love you, thank you, adore you, trust you, and out of everything you've done for me, this is the best thing any woman or man finally promised she or whoever would do for me. Anastasia Champ, you are by far the best woman on this list. And for that, I thank you. You cannot have a successful moment or a successful winner without a champ. Anastasia Champ, that's you. I love you, girl, and thank you. Before we get to the number 1, here are some honorable mentions, and I can name plenty to count. I can't even say how many more. Janelle Heine, Jaron Nelson, Misty Nelson, oh God, I can name so many more. Chelsea Furman, I can name so many more. I'm so sorry. Jason Case, unfortunately, I can put him on that list. Matt Schoaf. Oh God, I can say so many more. I can name so many more. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to think so many more. Aaron Hankinson, definitely him. Love you, bro. And not to mention many more to count. I can't even say how many more I can even count. Now comes the final one. The number 1 person of this list, Wesley Williams. Anyone who knows me real well knows the real story about me and Wesley. I'll get to the short version on this. Wesley Williams, I did track and field in high school with him until he transferred to Papio South, which is the rival school that was created next year, and most of the screw up in La Vista went to South. Moving on that. He said to me in 2003 on our freshman year of track and field, And I remember I was teased so much by so many people because I was the slowest on the team. And I'll admit I was the slowest on the team. But Wesley told me this: Alex, come here. I thought he was going to be a douchebag to me as well, like my teammates. I'm like, no, Alex, come here. I got to talk to him. I'm kind of nervous because I was cautious at this time. But I'm like, you know what? I've already been through enough. Let's go to him. I thought he was going to somehow beat me up or screw me over or whatever. Fortunately, he didn't. Wesley said this: Alex, I know you know you're the slowest on the team. I told him, yes, I already know that. You don't have to tell me anymore, man. He said this later on though: it's okay, Alex. I'm not gonna put you down. I'm not gonna somehow screw you over. I'm not gonna kick your ass. That's not what I'm gonna do. Wesley, what are you trying to say, Wesley? Alex, let me tell you something real quick. I heard what happened with you and Mitch. I heard what happened with you and many other people. But I'm gonna tell you this. You may be the slowest on the team, but sooner or later in your lifetime, you're gonna somehow surprise everyone. You're gonna be on top of the podium. You're gonna be someone, whether it's regardless of what sport it is. It could be running, it could be baseball, it could be whatever. I don't know when, how, where, what, why, or what event it is, or what competition is, but you're gonna be on that podium no matter what it is. I guarantee it, man. Just have the faith that you can be that one. Most of these people will not last long later on in the future. I know you can reach that podium. Like I said, I don't know where, who, what, why, where, or what event it is, or how. You will be on that podium. 13 years later, he was right. Before I get to that, here's how it happened 2 days before. 2 days before the race I was going to do. And this race was for Wesley anyway. 2 days before the race, he died. And I did not know he died until hours later. I thought it was a fluke on Facebook. Everyone's saying rest in peace, Wesley Williams. When I saw one, I thought this was a joke. Then I saw two. I'm like, what is going on here? And then when I saw 5 more, I was thinking, oh no, this ain't a joke. So I saw the news story on Fox 42 at 4 o'clock, whatever. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It ain't a joke. It was so hard to see a guy that I have yet to see so long, ever since high school, pass away. As for Wesley, though, that day when he died, I was with friends at a bar further west as well, going to karaoke or whatever. Unfortunately, I saw the news at the time on Facebook. Didn't even know what happened, didn't even know how it all started until I saw the news story, of course, the day before. Wesley Williams was the only athlete that somehow never gave up on me, whether high school, college, whatever. Wesley literally was proven right about this when he told me this 13 years ago, at the time when it was 2006 into 2018, then 2018. Remember this. Sorry, make that 12 years later. I apologize. So Wesley Williams died exactly a week before his wedding, 2 days before my race. It was so sad to see this news, and I did not know he died until hours later. The race comes, I do that race, and that race was for Wesley. I started on the caboose at a 60 runners in the mile run. Proud to announce that I got third. I got third overall. I'm a bronze medalist for a major event in the mile run, Omaha Marathon mile run event. Wesley Williams was right all along. I got on the podium, I got my trophy, and I got a finisher medal and a trophy to take home. Wesley, to the family of Wesley Williams, if you're seeing this as well, I thank Wesley so much, because at the time when Mitch Albers treated me like garbage, and still today, he is a garbage-ass piece of garbage, Wesley Williams helped me out from start to finish. And even though I never got to see him again, unfortunately, I only talked to him maybe 2 or 3 times after high school, that guy literally just became the number one of the top 10 of number one inspirational person in my lifetime. Wesley Williams. Until we meet again, have fun in heaven with God. I love you, bro. I thank you. I honestly cannot say any more for you, bro. Happy birthday. Thank you. Have fun in heaven. I cannot say any more how awesome that day was in my lifetime. Wesley Williams, and the top 10 on this list and many more to count. This Bud's for you 10. Thank you.